Thank you for the director and thank you MC. So we are greetings to you all. Can you Malaysia? From friends and family, UNDP, CSIR, I'm not sure if the CEO is here. Thank you very much for making it. All the agencies, Musho local municipality of Makuru Tamaba, the district area thank you so much for blessing us with the beautiful prayer in the morning before we began the program. Thank you very much and welcome you. Nagalina, my name is Matsedi Genesis Phasha. I am the founder and the CEO of Eyelook Telecomms. I am not alone. I am with my co-director, who is Digele Chauke, sitting over there. She will have a platform after me. I actually have a little story to tell before we begin. And I think number one, today and patient. I'm not used to this. Even though apparently I'm good, but thank you very much for the compliment. But we are engineers and we are technicians. We are just used to being on the ground, running around, fixing problems, technological problems. And one of the, I would say, an interest to start an initiative like this and open a company of this time is because of we realized a lot of things. As you've seen, the ladies that were here, is our grandmothers, our mothers in here, they brought us and we have cultural obligations to live for, as black people particularly. Everyone has a culture in here, and I think we've seen in the past that, I think each and every year, there is a degree of loss of culture amongst all of us. Whether it's in the cities, in the metropolitans, in the rural areas, we are losing a touch of who we are. So part of the reason why we decided to open a company of this nature, become involved in ICT, is to make sure that we don't lose value and we don't lose identity of who we are. Therefore, what we've just been hearing here, it is something that is an identity of who you are. Everybody in here has an identity. In terms of if you are a very cultural identity of who I am, meaning back in the days, you did not need an ID book for you to know who you are. Seratoscientists will tell you which family are you from, which lineage are you from. So it is things like this that we need to preserve to make sure other than this is what we're talking about. So even if they do get to leave us one day, but we need to capture these moments, we need to record this, we need to put them in archives so that we can teach this to our children, to our grandchildren, and until everybody knows who we are. So meaning that we are at a phase in life where now, the things that we do, we are trying to create content for us to be part of who we are, instead of just consuming everything that we just find on the internet from, let's say, USA or from Europe or from China or from Japan. We need to create something that belongs to us. You know, some of the Muruti earlier on was mentioning that in this day and age, people are trending. And we would love for people to trend, but then we would love them to trend for good reasons. Trend, but then do not lose your identity, do not lose the value that you are, do not lose your lineage. So, part of the story that I was having earlier on, that I was just thinking about as I was sitting down, I was just reminiscing the journey where I come from. You know, I come from a place or a village where, from growing up during the time of 2G, which is the second generation, you know, there were many villages did not have network, you know. So we grew up without having network where we come from, and then we understood that maybe, you know, the likes of the big towers will come one day and put that towers there. So as years passed, you know, I was in school, and I remember I come home for holidays, and then there's still no network. I come home with a cell phone, but there's no coverage. So then again, I graduated, I went to look for work, I found work, I still come back. Now I wouldn't do work anymore, because now we're in a new era where now, you know, we are sending emails, we're working from home, but where I come from, there's no network. Until one day that I asked, what could be a problem because of now other villages now start having coverage, they can make phone calls, they can send SMSs, they can send emails, they can go to internet. What is going on with us? And then again, I checked the company that I was working from, and then now I was introduced into the telecommunications industry. Then that's where now I started learning how telecommunications actually work. It's, I think, more than 15 years ago. And then I started realizing that I think now I need to come back home and advise our people to say, hey, maybe you want coverage in your area. These are the steps of what goes now, where I was working with these things every day of my life. Years passed, still there was no internet and there was no network coverage where I was coming from. Until I then asked my parents, to be precise, to say, but then to a point where I introduced them to CSI, not CSI, but to ICASA, because I had this relationship already in ICASA, I had friends that were working there, to a point where now they even intervened to say, but there is no way that your village can be having no coverage for so many years. We intervened, as we intervened, still there was no network coverage. And then I was like, but there's something wrong. There's no way for so many years there is no network. That means the community here, how are they surviving? Because right now we are living in a new era where people need to communicate. I got the results. I've often answered to say the telecommunications companies, they do come here, try to erect their towers, but for some reason, because of Mogu, they don't get to succeed. So me coming from growing up in the cities in